assists on 26 baskets, just 3 turnovers for the Mavs. Let's check in with George Sedano.
Dave, I spoke to Doug Christie, the head coach of the Kings, and he talked about how his team's got to play better.
Repeatedly, and there's not a lot of size at the rim for Sacramento. Dallas hasn't allowed that on their end.
Davis with the lob, the throw down by Lively. As quickly as possible was because of his relationship with Nico Harris and the GM. And not only made the trade, but is somebody that has had a relationship.
Still finding that rhythm.
Here's George with more.
Dave, Legs, not only just the relationship with Nico Harrison, as you see AD hit another 3 there, it's also the coach and Anthony Davis and them all won a championship together in the bubble. And not to mention the personal pride.
Look, he's been focal point at other stages of his career, including winning a championship with the Lakers. He was really the focal point in the finals. So he can handle that burden, and that's exactly what...
Points, he turns it over there. 3-on-1 for Sacramento. DeRozan with the easy finish, and Jason Kidd sensing a shift in momentum. Levine trying to get on track, puts it on the floor, drives and scores off the window.
And there's your first challenge.
Sabonis ahead to Carter, and a breakaway slam for Carter makes it a 16-point game. Well defended, shot clock at 4. Levine, good defense, Christie. Levine though swishes it through from 20 feet.
Against a red-hot Bulls team coming into that game and completely dismantled it.
Atlanta got beat by Orlando. The Mavs will take on Boston. Lyles with the back. Be home for that 8th-place game on Friday night. Exum in the paint for 2. This is what the Mavs did in the playoffs last year with their bigs. Exum's 3 is there, and the Mavs are
long, dramatic, competitive series, and I'm really looking forward to that young Pistons defense going up against the Knicks.
30 more wins than last year's. DeRozan hangs and puts it in. What a job by J.B. Bickerstaff and his staff for the job done with that Piston team. 3-minute mark here in the 3rd. The lead is 19. Winner moves on to play Memphis Friday night for the right to go to the playoffs and face Oklahoma City in the 1st round. Murray goes right at Davis, who knocks it away. Murray gets it back up. Can the Kings get it to 13-14 going into the 4th quarter?
That's about where you have to be, I think, to have a realistic chance. And DeMar DeRozan now able to string together baskets, and he's getting to spots he loves to operate in these last 2 trips. The hard drive on the last basket, and this one, you allow him, and how much he loves to operate out of the spin. He is going to get something quality for himself virtually every time in one-on-one coverage with a whole side of the floor.
Foul on Christie, team's 3rd. DeRozan recently moved into 25th all-time on the NBA scoring list, passing Reggie Miller. And he's got 24 points here tonight to lead all scores.
They got it to 16 once, and then Exum got it back to 21, and now here they are with 16 again. Very important 2.5 minutes here for the Kings to close out this quarter with stops.
They get a deflection, but it ends up in the hands of Washington, who hits a 3. Unfortunate bounce if you're Sacramento. You get a hand on a basketball and it pinballs right to an open shooter.
There's a fine line between picking up a turnover right there and getting out, able to run again. And instead, P.J. Washington quiets the crowd one more time with a 3.
Here's DeRozan. He's got 11 here in the quarter, make it 13 and 26 for the game.
Yeah, look, you've got a big lead still, but DeMar DeRozan is starting to own the right side of the floor in one-on-one coverage. That's going to have to change if you're Jason Kidd and the Mavericks.
A foul called here on the drive on Levine as Brandon Williams hits the deck. Free throws for Williams. Been battling an oblique strain, which he suffered in the last game of the regular season. He was a game-time decision today, and shaken up here as Levine commits his first foul.
Well, you wouldn't have known he was hurt the way he played offensively first half. But if you got an oblique strain, that's the last thing you want to experience right there. Going hard to the floor, having to gather himself now, get his breathing under control to shoot a couple of free throws.
Williams and Thompson were the spark early on for Dallas when they got down to Sacramento. It was a tight game. They weren't down much, only 3, but They couldn't make a shot. Then all of a sudden, Williams hit a couple, Thompson hit a couple, and the lead ballooned to 15.
And what was interesting in talking to Jason Kidd before the game, he didn't seem like he really knew beyond 7 or 8 guys who might get some extended minutes in this one. You know, he pushed the right button by putting Williams in the game and gave them that bulk of offense there in the first half. Has played very well in the opportunity he's been given tonight.
The Mavs have now made 16 straight free throws. Lead back to 19. Lyles in the paint, comes up short. Washington looking to run. Dallas with numbers. The lob was off the mark, though, but Lively got bumped by Valanciunas, and Lively will go to the free throw line. 2 on Valanciunas.
Well, the fans are frustrated because it looks like that's a wild lob, right? There's no way that Lively's going to come down with that and make a play, and they're probably right, but unfortunately, you can see Valanciunas got into his torso and was able to put enough force on him to knock him off balance. So I don't think Lively was finishing that play without contact, but it was a foul.
Lively missed 2.5 months of the season with an ankle injury. Dallas used 47 different starting lineups, tied for second with New Orleans. Philadelphia used the most at 54. And the Mavs, if they're healthy, they're not the 10 seed now. Are they in the playoffs? I don't know about that. As Valanciunas scores there.